Good evening, friends. Good evening, humans. And good evening, all the samurais. Samurais of the past, the Vikings of the unattainable future, and the samurais of the present. So, which one you are? The past or present, or some futuristic samurais? I would say you're a big present samurai if you're using cryptocurrencies, specifically if you're using a Bitcoin. I hope you're familiar with the Bitcoin more and more as we kind of closing to second half of the 2017, where the things become spicy. Well, on the financial market, on the political market, on the ownership market, on the legal market, and so on. There's many markets that are absolutely collapsing, yet nobody want to talk openly about it. So today's little story is about this little Satoshi guy who nobody knows what or who he is or she. Well, it doesn't really matter, but for the newbies, Satoshi is 1 millionth part of one Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a new sword for the old financial debt markets. They're dead as they put everybody into debt. So, story goes like this. Satoshi Nakamoto, the invisible truth samurai. Well, most of us know story about the samurais. Why this being chose a Japanese old fables about these almost invincible beings who can cut you with a one swish of the very thin and very sharp sword, the samurai sword. Why he chose to be invisible? Simply because he doesn't maybe need attention. Simply because he just wanna give people a one swoosh of his samurai sword and cut this financial snake's head with a single move. When he introduced in 2007-8 the Bitcoin platform based on the blockchain, where no information cannot be ever deleted or changed. There's no information that sits on one single central place, that it's so decentralized that it's almost impossible to do any kind of machinations. As it proved for last 10 years, that it's fully operational, with ups and downs, with mostly ups, yet downs happens when the attacks are coming up. I had a discussion today with people who are claiming they're experts in financial bubbles, the real estate bubble, the insurance bubble, the dollar bubble, and all the other, crap and fake inflammatory bubbles, where I just, with a simple quote, stated, you cannot inflame something that is with a fixed volume, yet it will increase in the value. Volume will remain the same. And this is the biggest trick that Satoshi Nakamoto totally fucked the bankers, because they have no single handle where they can and how they can control it. They try now with different things. Many, let's say, previous attacks were very arrogant, very dirty. Now they kind of want to be smart, and they want to do, let's say, a spin-off of a Bitcoin. They call it Bitcoin Cash, which is absolutely ridiculous. You can call something Bitcoin or BTC, but it's not it. It's a completely new currency or new cryptocurrency that's based on unlimited amounts of the blocks or size of the blocks. So if you decide to learn a bit more, the actual structure and the policies behind Satoshi Nakamoto's idea for the blockchain and the Bitcoin as a primary financial equalizer for every single human, that whoever runs a computer is able to obtain the Bitcoins, or in the beginning Satoshis, yet down the road one Satoshi will be worth $100,000. So what Bitcoin will worth a couple of billion, which is absolutely relevant because the market will, let's say, the value of the market will increase while the volume of the market will remain the same. Because every 10 minutes there is a new Bitcoin mined. So how and for what purpose? How come this very fast move of the samurai Satoshi made it in such a almost like invisible way, as the sword of the samurai goes through the head of the snake, of the financial dirty snake, who was enslaving every single one of us. So I really admire this move, that this being is silent, that this being is not on the front pages. He gave you a product, he gave you a solution. Now it's up to you to basically start utilizing this. You can still wander in the stock exchanges where the dollars are traded against yen or euro or whatever machinations these creatures of the stock markets are inventing. Yet majority of the stock markets are manipulated by the dark AI, the dark artificial intelligence programs, who are splitting the hair of the millisecond when something is bought or sold, and they are just profiting on a huge amounts of shares they are manipulating before everybody else can even touch them, because they are controlling the flow, because this is centralized. The stock markets and these present money markets were centralized. Not anymore, because suddenly this little Satoshi, worm, that it looks more like a sword, he just slid in between and completely severed the head that is still kind of thinking it's controlling everything else underneath the body of this financial debt. Yet the body is like a snake. You cut the head off, the body still goes for some time until it's completely, realized, oh my God, wait, this is not, well, especially snakes are not calling God. So they're saying, oh my reptile, fake God, what I'm going to do now? I have no head. Nobody can tell me what to do. Well, ask Satoshi, and he will direct you. Go to the blockchain and distribute your new idea, your new approach to pretty much anything, because anything can be put on a blockchain, and it's absolutely recorded. Nobody can manipulate it. Even if they attempted August 1st, 2017, they tried to basically hijack the Bitcoin name, the Bitcoin idea, with a very dirty influence of Bitcoin Cash and the so-called new exchange, the only controlling, where you can buy BCC, Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Exchange, for a fraction of the money. So why are they doing it? They're dumping a lot of US dollars and whatever other fiat currency into the blockchain of the Bitcoin and trying to hijack as many Satoshis out. and as well confuse people. So when people are going out, or they will buy, now it's Bitcoin Cash is $560. The original and true Bitcoin is now about $4,700. So people will be kind of confused until they realize, like, why are we actually even bothering going to these stupid exchanges, because everything is so controlled, so centralized. Until you realize that you can actually have your own wallet, as a real Bitcoin has a full ability of your wallet, where it sits on your computer and you are in full control. So the samurai technique and way of living, it's more about an honor and valor and equality and truth. So the sword that he's using, Satoshi Nakamoto, is the truth sword. It's sword of equality. It's a sword that it will cut every single shit that was piled on a human backs as debt, as a contracts, as a centralized ruling technique of the so-called, elite, who are so freaking fake that they cannot even comprehend what Satoshi actually gave everybody, including them. Satoshi gave the elite a possibility to become light again, to become cleared of all this greed they were exercising for centuries, 2 centuries, more, like if you go with the old ways of money and money exchangers. Beginning, Jesus times, 0 days, 0 years, it was money changers were the biggest problem. Freaking Jesus didn't get upset with anybody but with the money changers. And they're stating it. Yet, why they don't emphasizing about this? Why they still claiming they are the ones who has to rule all the finances? If you want to read what truly Jesus said, it's basically very similar what now Satoshi did. So, you dear money launderers and fake elite, you are now screwed completely. Your head is chopped off, totally, absolutely, totally. And I swear I saw it with my eyes. It's up to the world now to realize what to do with this. This is for now just an information. For now, 1 Bitcoin is worth $4,700. In a matter of a year, it goes by just this trend. It goes straight up, like this. And it's still mined every 10 minutes, 1 Satoshi, 1 Bitcoin. So nothing changed from this perspective, but a people's awareness changed a lot. Because many of us now we know we've been tricked for many, many decades and decades. Like since you're born, you've been tricked that you have to live, work and die for the frigging money, dollar. Now you don't have to die and you'll get Satoshi or a Bitcoin or a Grand Coin, which is some kind of another token based on Ethereum smart contracts that producing unconditional basic income for every single being who's applying to this, who's actually willing to become part of it. Because as soon as you bring your attention to something, you are feeding this entity of, let's say, Grand Coin with your energy. But if you're doubting and you still want to live in the world of famous and frigging liars from Hollywood and the financial markets and New York stock exchanges, you will become, let's say, less and less worthy, because their dollars will be pretty much useless in a matter of a couple of years. Because everybody will be using a Bitcoin and they will trade here and there with the dollars until the dollar completely become insignificant, or euro or yen or any of these other fake fake funds. So why was Satoshi so deadly for the financial markets? Because it brought decentralization. It brought peer-to-peer communication and exchange. So I don't need the third party in between me and the one who's, let's say, producing services. And I want to buy his or her services, I just send them Satoshi directly from my wallet to their wallet. So, how many jobs, so-called fake jobs, will disappear? Banking sectors, insurance sectors, lending sectors. Many situations will become so almost like funny, scary for a big chunk of population because they don't want to admit they lived in a fake world because they were using the fake money. Yet we can change it. We can transmute this stream of our behavior, like where did we put our energy into? Now my whole energy goes into cryptocurrencies, into discovering how and what I can do and help these blockchains. They are popping like everywhere. Yet the dark AI just trying to disrupt these kind of distributions between an honest people who are willing to try something new, trying to discourage them, yet they don't have much success. Because as much they're putting a garbage in, the light starts shining brighter and brighter, and eventually completely burns out all of this garbage. And what is left? It's pure truth. That we are all equal. That we all deserve to receive what Prime Creator gave us. Life without difficulties. Yet if you choose that you live with, that you want to have a problem, then you will have a problem. But many of us who live very, very openly and purely, we don't have any problems. Because now, if something comes up in our awareness, we see it as an opportunity. So, what Satoshi did, took a biggest challenge of these finance freaks and throw into their midst equality and scalability and peer-to-peer and absolute decentralization. So nobody can control a Bitcoin. Nobody can control the blockchain or cryptocurrency of any kind. Not even this fake Bitcoin Cash. They try to control it by manipulating, putting a lot of money there, bringing out, selling and so on their own exchanges. Yet many of the clever guys are just like, this is total nonsense. They can make a fuss about this for a couple of weeks. It will just go into oblivion. Nobody will use it. Then what? They have to start changing themselves. They have to start becoming truly true to themselves. Why are they doing it? Why they want to steal from others? Oh, we cannot steal anymore. Hillary Clinton, I cannot lie anymore. Now I have to start telling the truth. Oh my God, this is the biggest penalty from God directly into my face. I cannot tell the truth. What are you going to think about me? Doesn't matter, it'll pass. Don't worry, you'll say once, 2 times, and the 3rd time you'll be so sick of yourself that you'll die. Or you will repent and you'll become much healthier. Maybe. So, dear people, Satoshi or not, he's here. He is the ruling party of all the finances in the whole world. Yet nobody fully accepts this yet, especially from the dark side who's keeping a control and eye on money and exchanges. Now they lost it. So accept it or not, it's in your midst.